What's up, data friends? It's Yanis here and welcome to my channel. In this video, we are going to go over a Python test example for interviews. And more specifically, this is going to be a difficult level test. Down here, we have 5 questions that we are going to attempt to answer in under 20 minutes, which is about 4 minutes per question. Down here, I have the answers to all the questions. However, what I suggest you should do is that you should start from down here where it says YouTube test, start here and attempt to answer these 5 questions yourself before you watch this video, and then see how well you've done, and then come back and watch the video so you can compare. I'm going to have this file uploaded in my GitHub page, so you can just download it and try to solve this test. And before we start this video, let me just say that if you're passionate about data analytics and data science, then please consider liking this video, subscribing to my channel, and enable notifications for my future videos. Right, starting from our raw data, generally when you get invited into a Python test, they will either give you the raw data in the form of Excel files, and you're going to have to load the data in yourself, or they're going to have the data already loaded in their UI they're using, and you're going to start answering the question straight away. In our case, we have 3 Excel files: the YouTube car main data, which is this data frame you see down here that has information about the cars. So we have the make, the model, the year, the trim, and we also have retail price, invoice price, body size, and body style. And then we also have 2 more files. Let me quickly visualize them. We have the car info data frame that has some additional information about the cars. And as you can see, index is the key column we are going to use to join the files together. And we also have another file, which is the use prices of the cars. So if I run it quickly, we only have index and use prices. Right, starting with our first question, it says, what is the average retail price for make and model for the years 2023 and 2024, premium trim and horsepower more than 400? So this question is asking us to aggregate the data by model and make, and the aggregation is going to be the average retail price, and it's also asking us to have some conditions in our data. First condition is the 2023 and 2024 years. Second condition is premium trim. And third condition is horsepower more than 400. And what we notice straight away is that horsepower exists on the second table and everything else exists on the first table. So we can either join them together and then apply the conditioning, or we can create a list, let's say, with horsepowers more than 400 and then use that list to filter from the first table. I'm actually going to follow this approach. I'm going to create the list. So I'm just going to say over here, horse over 400. I'm going to say equals, and then from my second table, which is the car info, I am going to select the horsepower column. However, as we can see straight away, is that horsepower is a text. So we're going to have to extract the number from the text, and the number is the first 3 characters. So I'm just going to say .str, and then I'm going to select the first 3 characters. And then I'm going to say .as type float, so I'll make it a number, and then I'm going to say is more than 400. And then from all these conditions, I'm only going to select the index. So index, because index is what I'm going to use to filter from my table B. So if I close this, if I run it, and then if I run this over here, down here we have all the indexes of cars that have a horsepower more than 400. So now I can start working with our main query, which is from car data. Over here, I want to select the make and the model. So let me do double like this. I need to select make, model, and index actually, because index is what I'm going to filter. Make and then model. sorry, actually I don't need index, I'm only going to filter index. There we go. The make and the model for years 2023 and 2024. So our first condition over here is going to be year, like this. Dot is in, and then the 2 years is going to be 2023, comma 2024. Close the bracket. Yeah, it's in. That's our first condition. Our second condition, sorry, let me close this in brackets. Our second condition is that the index have to be in this list, so we get the horsepower more than 400. So I'm gonna select this and say end. I need to close this. This is going to be the index. I'm going to say is in, and into these brackets I'm going to pass the list we have just created. Nice. Close it. Our third condition now is going to be the premium trim, and as you can see, we cannot use equals, we have to use dot contains, because premium is actually a substring of the whole string. So I'm going to say where the, actually let me copy this, the whole thing, paste it, and over here I'm going to say where trim dot str dot contains, let me delete all this, I want to hear dot str dot contains open brackets, and over here, do I need to square brackets? I don't remember now. Let's test. I'm just going to say dot contains, and I'm going to say premium with capital, like this. Close brackets. Which bracket is this one? Close this one, and then close the whole thing. Okay, let's test if this works. This works actually. We get the make and the model with all of our conditions. And the last thing we need to do is that we need the average retail price. So we need to do an aggregation now. So we can say dot group by, the group by is going to be by these two columns. So the make and the model, make, and then also, let me do enter. So we see what we're writing, group by, make, then we need the model. There we go. Now we need comma as index equals false, because I don't want this to be a new index, correct? And then dot agg, I want to aggregate, open close, and then in here I need to have the average retail price. So I'm gonna get retail price from here, retail price, and I'm gonna get the average, which is the mean. Retail price, that's correct. Also over here now I want to select all my data, so I'm just going to remove all of this. Let me see. Yeah, correct. Yeah, that should work. Dot group by, I'm going to take the group by back, run this. There we go. So now we get the average retail price for make and model for the years 2023 and 2024. Premium trim is over here, and horsepower more than 400, which is this one over here. Right, moving on to our second question now. It says, create a rank column based on the invoice price per car in the main table, order descending. So if we get our main table, which is the car data quickly, and do dot head, we need to use the invoice price column, and we need to basically create a new column, which is going to be the rank based on this invoice price. Now, if you see invoice price quickly, you can see that we have the $sign and the comma, which basically it means it's not a number, it's actually a text, and we cannot apply calculations on it. So if we check the data types quickly, dot the types, and then enter, you can see that invoice price is an object, is not integer or float. So first we are going to clean it by doing invoice price equals, like this, equals invoice price dot replace, and we are going to replace the $sign with empty. Copy it, paste it, and then we are going to replace the comma with empty. And then we're going to say dot as type, and then we're going to say float. like this. So if we check now again data types, sorry, I've run the same thing twice, did I? Could not convert. Oh, it's because I'm missing the .str. That's why .str, because we need it per row. Do this. There we go. Check the data types. There we go. Now invoice price is a float, and we can apply calculations on it now. So to create the rank column, we need to say let's do is based on the invoice price. So we're going to say invoice price rank dash rank over here like this, and we're going to say equals, then we're going to use this column, the invoice price we have just cleaned, dot run open brackets, and we're going to say method equals dense, and also we're going to say ascending equals false, because we need this to be descending, close brackets, and then let's actually visualize it. Let's do the top 10, so head, and then do 10, click enter. There we go, we get a run. This is none because we don't have an invoice price. What else we can do is that we can add the sort values actually. So if we do cart data dot sort values like this, and then add the rank in these sort values, so copy, paste, and also do head and do the first 20 maybe. Let's visualize it. There we go. So the most expensive invoice price car is this Audi R8 GT. And then the second one, as you can see, third one, and I'm assuming we have a lot of null values because not all cars have invoice prices, but we don't want to remove them because this is our main data. So I'm just going to leave it into top 5 and then move on to the next question. Right, the next question says, show the total retail price, table A, average used price, this is table C, used price is for this table, table C, so we need a join here, cylinders and horsepower, which come from our second table, per model that has a highway fuel economy less than 34 miles per gallon. So we basically need to join all three together now to answer this question. So I'm going to say over here master join equals, and I'm going to join all the files together. So I'm going to start with cart data and then cart info. I'm going to say dot merge, and here I'm going to pass cart info, copy, paste, comma, how equals, I'm going to use a left join, and then comma on, my key is going to be the index that they're going to match on, close. So this is my first join. My second join is going to be on this join, so I'm going to say dot merge, and then here I'm going to pass my third table, which is the use prices, like this, and then the rest is the same. And then let's visualize it quickly. Master join dot head. There we go. So from here until body style, I think, and the invoice price rank we have just created is table A. From here until here is table B, and then this is our use price, which is our table C. Now, one of the conditions we have before we apply the aggregations is that the highway fuel economy has to be less than 34 miles per gallon. So if you check the highway fuel economy, which is this column over here, we have to clean the number from the text. So what I'm going to do is that I'm going to create a new column, which is going to be the highway fuel economy NO, the number NO, and I'm going to clean that column by saying equals highway fuel economy, the actual column, dot str. I'm going to take the first two numbers or characters, let's say, which is the first two numbers, and then I'm going to say dot as type, and this is going to be float, so it's a number. And let's visualize it. There we go. We have the new highway fuel economy NO, and now we're going to start with our aggregations. So I need to apply my first condition, which is basically the highway fuel economy number has to be less than 34. So So this has to be less than 34. There we go. And then we need our aggregations. So I'm going to say dot group by. In here, we need to pass the columns we need to group by. And we need, how many columns do we need? We need the price, horsepower, and model. So I'm going to do model. And then we're going to need the cylinders, which is this one over here. Sorry, this one. We need the horsepower, which is this one over here. And then we need a group by now. Sorry, we need an aggregation now, dot agg. Oh, actually, we need to add comma as index equals false, because I don't want a new index. Now I need a new aggregation, and in the aggregation, we have two aggregations, I think. So let's add them in. This is the first one. This is the second one. The first one is the total retail price, so retail price sum, and the second one is the average use price, so use price from here, and then we need the average, which is going to be min, like this. Click enter. There we go. We have the model, which is the model. We have the cylinders, horsepower, highway fuel economy less than 34 is the condition we have over here. And we have the total retail price, and the average use price, which is the average use price over here. Right, moving on to our next question. Oh, this is very long. Let's do the dot head, so it's a lot less. Over here, dot head. Yep, nice. So create a new category for the retail price using the following. And then we have these three categories. Show the number of cars per make and category, this new category. And then we also get a bonus for a pivot table output. Right, first we have to start by creating this new category. And I'm going to use our main table, which is the car data. And I'm going to say that this new column is going to be the retail price category. So retail price category. And over here, we need to say np.where. And in our first where, we're going to say where the retail price of the car, so retail price, actually I think we have copied that, no? Yeah, we do retail price, like this, is less than 50k, comma, we need our first category, which is this one. And if not, we need another np.where, and in here, we need to say where the retail price is less than 100k, less than 10, and if yes, but here, we need to say the second category, which is this one over here. Otherwise, it's going to be the third category. If it's not the first condition, not the second, then it should be the third. And if we add it in and then we test it, so this is the first one, this is the second one, and let's test it. Saying dot head, and let's choose the first 10. Click enter. There we go. So this is more than 100k. That's correct. Less, all of this less, and this is in between. So our new category works. Now we need to show the number of cars per make in this new category. To do this, we need to run an aggregation and a group by as we did before. So first we are going to select all of our data, then we will dot group by. In the group by, we want to add these two columns. So the first one is the make, copy paste. The second one is this new category we created, comma as index equals false, and then dot agg, and in here we need to add the count. So quickly, let me add it. We need a count of indexes, which is the count of cars basically. So I'm just going to count over here. Yeah, click enter. We have the number of cars per retail price category and also per make. Now we also get a bonus for a pivot table output. And to do this, let me do dot head over here so we have less data. We're gonna have to create a pivot table. So if I do this, we can say pd.pivot table, open brackets, we need to pass our data frame, then we need to say that in our values is going to be our index, and then in our index is going to be the make, which is the vertical rows, so this is make, and then in our columns is going to be the new category we have just created, so the retail price category. And then our aggregated function is going to be, I think it's with C, is going to be equals, and it's going to be a sum. And then we can also say field values equals 0 for the missing values. And then we can close this. Let's test this. What am I missing? Equals, we get the error on the aggregate. Oh, okay, wait, I need this. Let's see. Sorry, comma. Let's see. No, there is an error. I think it's missing value. There's another error. This, I don't need this, I think. There we go. And then we get an error. The error says make, and I think it's because make is with capital. Sorry, where is it? What have I done? Okay, not sure what I did here. I think I merged those two together. I think this should be down here. Markdown, we don't need this. And I think I was here with an error, and I think I was trying to fix make. Oh, there we go. Nice. So we now have a pivot table as an output. We have the makes down here. We have the new category up here, and we also have the number of cars in each category. However, these numbers are way off, and I think it's because we have to store our aggregation first. So we can do answer for equals. Click enter, and then also visualize it. We don't need the head, so we don't store just the first 5 rows. There we go. And then in our pivot table, we want to pass the aggregation. There we go. So now the numbers are correct. The numbers were not matching. That's why we needed to do this. Right. And the last question says, create another column on the main dataset that has the average use price per make for the models/index that have a null use price. Bonus tip, use a for loop. So now we need to use both table A and table C. However, I'm not going to create a new join. I'm going to use the master join we have over here that has all the columns we need. So let's visualize this quickly. So what this is telling us is that not all cars have an invoice price, and we want to replace this none, or actually create a new column that has the average used price. Sorry, this is invoice price. This is the use price over here. And if we do .tail, because I think we ordered it, you can see that a lot of cars don't have a use price. So we basically want to first calculate the average use price per model, which is the, where is the model? Model over here. And then if this model Z does not have a use price, we want to have the average use price of the general model. In order to do this now, we are going to follow the approach they are suggesting. We're going to use a for loop, but there is other ways you can answer this question. However, I'm going to start by creating a list with all the models. So I'm just going to say all models equals, and then I'm going to pass all the models from our data frame. So over here, I'm going to say model dot unique, and this is basically a list. If I visualize it, a list with all of our, unique. Oh, we need to open and close, sorry. So this is the list with all the unique models we currently have. Then we are going to loop through all these models, model by model, calculate the average use price, and then pass it back into a new column maybe. Actually, yeah, let's do a new column. So the new column is going to be the average used price, and we're going to start by saying that it's empty. And now we're going to do a for loop. So I'm going to say for m, which is model in this list. Sorry, where is my m? M in models. Enter. I want to print the m, so we know the first model. So we visualize it basically when the loop runs. Then I want to filter my data to only have data for this model. So over here, I'm going to say that the model equals M. So now we only have the model. So now we only have the model's data. Then I'm going to say the AVG price is the average use price. So I'm going to select data, and then I need the used price. I think is where is it? Used price. Copy paste. Actually, let me visualize it again quickly so we know what we are doing. Not this one. Where is it? Master join. Yeah, master join. There we go. It's used price. Where is it? Used price. Correct. This should be from master, by the way. Yeah, that's correct. From master. Yeah. Next, we have to pass this data now back into our new column. So what I'm going to say from master join, I'm going to say where the model equals M. So model like this equals M. I want to select our new column, which is called average used price. Copy, paste. And I want to say equals this average price, like this. And in the print now, actually, I'm going to move the print down here. Oh my God, use price. And then I want to print both the M and also the average price, like this. I want to remove this. Let's run it. We get an error. It doesn't like the empty. And it's basically because, oh, I'm creating this on the list. Stupid Yanis. There we go. Okay, cool. So I am printing the M and I'm also printing the average use price. Oh, I have to remove this. There we go. Oh, I'm doing something very stupid here. This should have been the dot min, like this, because it has to be the average. There we go. Yeah, we get the average per car. As you can see, these numbers is the average per model. Sorry, no per car. So the next thing we have to do now is that we have to, let's visualize our data set again. So we see that average and we see what's going on. So this is basically telling us for the first car, for example, the use price and average price is the same because probably we only have one model. However, for this model over here, the Audi A3, you can see that all of them are Audi's A3, row 1 to 4. However, they all have the same average, which is correct, but they all have different use prices. So it's correct, basically. We have calculated the average use price per model. What else we can do, so it's a bit cleaner, is that we can set this to 0 wherever there is data in the use price. So we can see straight away in which columns we didn't have a use price and we have used the average use price. To do this, we can actually come over here and say change the average use price again column like this, select it. So wherever the actual where is it, use price is null, so we're gonna do this. So wherever the use price dot is NA, then we want to set it, no, whenever the use price is not NA, like this, then we're gonna set this to, let's say, 0. So if we click enter, and then we visualize all of our data again, you can see that we have zeros for the average use price because we actually have an existing use price. But if we do head dot, let's do 30, so we see more data. Let's check. So down here where we have null in use prices, we actually have the average. So we have managed to answer our question. And now if we want to combine these two together, so we have one column that has either the actual use price, or if there is no use price, use the average, we can do the following. So we can create a new column called the, let's say, use price or average, AVG used price equals, and I'm going to say np.where and I'm going to say where the use price is NA. So if the use price is NA, then I want to have the average use price. Otherwise, if it's not NA, I want to have the use price, and that's it. Copy and then paste over here like this, click enter, and then if we check our raw data again, scroll all the way here, this is the new column we have just created. You can see for the first few rows it takes the use price because there is data, and then for down here, for example, that we don't have data, it takes the average. So now we have created a column that combines the actual use price with the average, depending if there is data or not. Right, so we have basically answered all of our questions. I know this is a difficult one, and I know we've taken more than 20 minutes, but if I was not explaining everything and I was just going on the code, I'm sure I was going to be able to finish this under 20 minutes. Let me know in the comments below how you found this test, if it was too easy or if it was too difficult for you. If it was too difficult, then I suggest watching my previous videos that I have. I think this one is an intermediate level, I also have an easy one, and I have a beginner's one. If you want anything more difficult, I don't think you're going to get anything more difficult. I think the next level is to test your machine learning knowledge, which again, I have a lot of videos there if you look into my channel. Right, so thank you very much for watching this. I hope you've enjoyed this video and you've gained enough value out of this video. If you feel like you did, then I would really appreciate it if you click the like button, subscribe to my channel, and enable notifications for my future videos. Thank you very much, and I'm going to see you in the next video.